I come out and I start to get better, although it's so tough and so long, and I'd really basically given up. I had been fired from my job. It was just so hard and so difficult, and it wasn't happening at all, but I still kept listening to what the doctors say, and it's critical that you choose a doctor that you like, that you respect, and that you trust, because your life is in his hands. And he's got this situation where he's got to tell you what you need to do. And he does this every single day. We're going to do it hopefully only one time in our lives. And while we think we know everything, I can remember the day I graduated from UCLA and Coach Wooden wrote one of his maxims to me, to Bill Walton. It's the things you learn after you know it all that counts. And so my spine doctor wrote a very similar one to me. And Sunday morning, I'm speaking to the graduate school on their graduation of the medical school at UC San Diego, so I'm truly the luckiest guy on earth. But during this long and arduous recovery program, you lose faith. You no longer believe. And that was me. But I was super lucky in that my family and my friends, my teammates, and my wife, and our children, they would call every day and they'd say, Bill, don't give up. Don't give up, Bill. You can make it. So here I was. I kept going down to the pool because at the end of the line, when you're old and in the way like I am, and you have the limitations in life where you can't do the things that you normally dream of doing, that's just natural. We all end up in three places for exercise and sport: the swimming pool, the weight room, and the bicycle. Because those are three things that we can do. Allow us to move, allow us to exercise, allow us to stretch it all out, and not beat our bodies up. I could no longer ride my bike, but I could go to the pool, and I go every day. There's a pool, 90-degree indoor pool, YMCA, 10 minutes door to door from my house. My feet hit the floor in the morning, and I'm at that pool every single day. I don't swim, I don't put my head underneath the water, I just move. I just work it all out, stretch, get all the kinks out, and then come home after a hot shower and get in that weight room and just start working on the core from the chest to the knees. Because the life that we live, sadly, puts us into the flexed position. And that's the worst thing in the world, because you have to get to that position in life of extension with the head up and the shoulders back. And until this position here becomes totally natural to you, you have no chance of long-term spine health. So here I was. I had given up. It was just too hard. And then one day, 7 months to the day after my operation, I'm in the weight room. I'd already been to the pool, and I'm pushing that steel. I'm not doing anything hard. I don't lift like that. I just lift for exercise, a little bit of resistance, the pushing and the pulling and the knee extensions and all the different things. And it turned. And I could feel that for the first time, I had a future. And it was just the greatest moment, this epiphanic moment in my life that I'll never forget. I had on the stereo, I had Jerry Garcia singing Bob Dylan's most beautiful song ever, The Visions of Johanna. The vision that tomorrow is going to be better, and there's something ahead worth looking for. And so there I was in the weight room, Jerry singing Bob. Ain't it just like the night to play tricks when we're trying to be so quiet? We sit here stranded, though we're all doing our best to deny it. And as today we mourn the passing of Maya Angelou and the great poets, the dreamers, the visionaries, the guys who were willing to step to the front and say, I'll take care of this. Dr. Onyuke, Dr. Moss, Gus, and all the people here at UConn Health who were doing everything they can to give you the chance to get back there in the game of life. It turned for me, and I had the chance. So I closed down the weight room. I went back across the yard, and I gave my wife the biggest hug and the biggest kiss. And the tears of sadness, which had been there for years, now turned to tears of happiness. With my spine, I cried every day. Every day it was so tough, so hard, and there was just no hope. The desperation, loss of control, and everything spiraling miserably out of control. But now I could feel it, and there was something to look forward to. And I told Lori, I'm going to make it. I can feel it. It turned today from deep inside. And it was just absolutely incredible how great that feeling was that day, Labor Day weekend. Now, 2 days later, I went out on my bike for the first time in seemingly forever. I love my bike. My bike is everything to me. It's the most valuable thing that I have. My bike is my gym, my church, and my wheelchair all in one. Because my bike embodies everything that I believe in. Science, technology, metals, components, discipline, structure, a plan, sacrifice, a vision. But what my bike really means to me is freedom and independence. The ability to get from here to there, because I can't walk. I can get a little bit around, but because of my feet, because of my knees, because of my spine, I can't walk for exercise. The problem that I have with all my orthopedic challenges is that what's good for my spine, which is walking and moving, is bad for my legs. What's good for my legs is bad for my spine. So every day is a constant battle. How I find that balance. And my bike allows me to do this. But I hadn't been able to ride for seemingly forever. And I go out there this very first day, just 2 days after this epiphanic moment with Jerry and Bob and my wife, Lori. And I was all bent over still. I couldn't stand up. I could barely turn the cranks, but I was on my bike. And I could feel the wind. And I could feel the sun. And I could feel that thin film of sweat. And it was just so perfect. I was riding my bike again. I was just going right around the neighborhood, level, flat, perfect pavement. And if you can find perfect pavement in San Diego, please call me up. And I'm coming around just a few minutes out there on my bike. And I'm coming around the last turn. We've lived in the same house now for 35 years. And as I come around to slow down and dismount and go back inside and tell Lori how fantastic it is that I was on my bike today. Oh my gosh, how far I've come. All the teenagers, they're sitting on this far street corner and they're just happy as can be. It's summertime, it's just perfect. And they see me. Bill, you're riding your bike. This is great. What wonderful news. Your back must be feeling better. I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to make it. I'm feeling better and better. I'm saying, that's great, Bill, terrific. And then the 14-year-old boy, the guy that lives next door, he's got a couple of real hot California beach girls with him, right? They're all decked out in their bikinis and everything. And oh my gosh, he's going to show off for these young, hot California beach girls. So as I'm slowing down to dismount and waving to all the teenagers, he jumps up and he grabs his Tony Hawk skateboard and he comes out into the street to put on a show and draw all the attention to himself. And he loses control on takeoff and he plows right into me. And he knocks me over. And I go falling down in a broken, pitiful, bleeding, bloody, helpless, hopeless ball of flesh. And all the teenagers, they just run, just disappear, dust in the wind. I look back, my bicycle is broken. I feel here where I landed, my pelvis is broken. I feel back here, my sacrum is broken, but my spinal fusion held. Thank you, Dr. Moss. Thank you, Dr. Onuke. Thank you, Nuvasiv. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Gus. Thank you, Ann. But I was back on the ground for 4 more months. And I'm just crying, and I'm on the phone with the doctor. And I'm just saying, I can't do this. This is too hard. It's just too difficult. I can't, I give up. And he said, Bill, think back. Because doctors, they do more than just the surgeries. They heal in unknown ways. And so my doctor, who knew about Coach Wooden, knew about my relationship with Coach Wooden, he said, Bill, think back to what John Wooden gave you in terms of that foundation, that pyramid of success and all those human values and personal characteristics that will enable you, when times are tough, to be able to come back to your core, to be able to start over, regroup, and charge out there one more time. And what were those, Bill? Industriousness, enthusiasm, friendship, loyalty, cooperation, intentness, initiative, alertness, self-control, physical fitness, skill development, commitment to the team, poise, confidence, and competitive greatness. I said, yeah, I remember all those, but what does that have to do with the fact that my back is killing me? And he looked at me and he said, Bill, years later, after John Wooden, who spent 14 years working on that pyramid of success, he added 2 external words at the top. And those are the ones that I want you to focus on now. And those 2 words, Bill, are faith and patience. Do you believe? And are you willing to put the lifetime in that it takes to get this job done?